What is going on, my band of outlaws, and welcome back to the PPL. We are on week 3. Last week we took a heavy loss, but this week we are coming back stronger than ever to take on the Portland Timburrs, which is coached by RTK. His channel will be in the description. He will have his point of view battle up as well, so make sure you watch that. But let's jump right in so I can show you guys the team we are bringing this week. So first of all, we are bringing Randy, the Mega Venusaur. Oh, let me quickly just run through what he could bring. His draft was, and it's not going to be on screen, so make sure you listen. He had Milotic, Shaman, Rotom Heat, Donphan, Goodra, Gardevoir, Mandibuzz, Cypher, and Bisharp. So he had a lot of bulky options, and then he had some sweep material as well in Bisharp, Cypher, and even Gardevoir. So had to be careful with not letting my Pokemon get whittled down enough to let one of the big hitters come in and finish up. But we brought Mega Venusaur this week basically to deal with Milotic, to maybe get a Sludge Bomb off on Shaman. We decided to run, or I decided to put on the Power Whip instead of Mega Drain. Giga Drain. Power Whip instead of Giga Drain because it done more damage to Milotic, and a lot of Milotics run Mirror Coat, and I didn't want to get hit with a Giga Drain Mirror Coat kind of situation, so I just went for Power Whip instead. Also, I didn't think he'd be expecting it, so I thought it was a nice little thing to bring along. Sludge Bomb for Shaman, for Gardevoir. Sludge Bomb done a lot of damage, even though this Venusaur is a sassy nature, so we got the minus speed, but we got the extra special defense. It could take a Gardevoir hit, could take a Hyper Voice, could take most hits apart from Psy-Shock, but it could hit back with Sludge Bomb pretty hard, and it was also pretty good because he had a lot of special attackers. Like I said, in Milotic, Rotom Heat, Goodra, even though that can run physical, Gardevoir, and Mega Venusaur takes a lot of hits from them quite well, and Sleep Powder for switch-ins, which was just handy. So Mega Venusaur this week was our special defensive wall, pretty much. Next up, we have Tom, making his first appearance in our team. Tom, the Alakazam, running the Magic Guard with Focus Sash. He is a timid nature, and he has Energy Ball, Recover, Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast. No Stab this week. I didn't feel like we needed a Stab Psychic attack, especially when he has Pokemon like Bisharp and Mandibuzz, and Psychic didn't really hit anything on his team for super effective damage, so I didn't feel the need to bring along a Psychic move. It just wasn't going to benefit us very well. But I brought Energy Ball for Milotic, and Donphan, yeah, it was just a good coverage move. Shadow Ball to hit the Gardevoir that might wanted to switch in, and to hit things like Rotom for neutral damage, and 100% accurate move is always nice as well. And Focus Blast for a Bisharp switch in. Focus Blast, Focus Miss, whatever you want to call it, it had to come. It also done decent damage to Mandibuzz. It done okay damage to Mandibuzz, so it kind of had to come along too. And Recover as well for Mind Games with the Sucker Punch Bisharp, which is why I had the Focus Sash as well, so I could take one Sucker Punch and hopefully land a Focus Blast to take that out. So that's Alakazam, not much to talk about there for him really. Next up we have Vaporeon Oasis with Water Absorb and Choice Specs this week. Bringing along another Shadow Ball, Scald, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Electric. As you can see, I was very worried about the Gardevoir just running through my team a little bit, because once Mega Venusaur went down or got too low, then Mega Gardevoir kind of just went through the team doing a lot of damage to stuff. So Vaporeon had an interesting set. It had a set where I could take any 2 hits that Gardevoir wanted to give us, even if it was Specs, and hit back with a big Shadow Ball with Choice Specs. Also had enough speed investment to outspeed Goodra, and if he was Goodra Assault Vest, 2 Ice Beams would have done at least 70%. So I figured I could have got Goodra down to at least 70% with another Mon, and Vaporeon could have come in and revenge killed it with a bit of a speed creep. Hidden Power Electric as well, dealing with Mandibuzz, Cypher, and Milotic, and Ice Beam. Just a good coverage move again for Mandibuzz and Cypher, and Goodra, obviously. Next up, we have Derek the Hitmonchan. I can't believe we've brought Hitmonchan to every battle so far, but I got a soft spot in my heart for Hitmonchan. He has Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. Iron Fist and Adamant Natured this week with the Lumberry. Bulk Up Hitmonchan puts in nice work against this team. Like I said, he has a lot of special defensive Pokemon. This Hitmonchan's running 252 HP, 252 attack. He has a lot of special attacking Pokemon, and Hitmonchan's special defense is pretty high already. So Bulk Up was only going to benefit that. If I could get 2 Bulk Ups, I could take pretty much any 2 hits that any of his physical attacking Pokemon would want to give. Drain Punch hit Drain Punch hit Mandibuzz pretty good. Destroyed Bishop, obviously. Ice Punch for Goodra for Mandibuzz, for Shaymin, and Thunder Punch for Milotic for Mandibuzz. Hitmonchan was a good Pokemon to bring this week. Had a lot of coverage and a good matchup against him, surprisingly. Also, didn't have any hazard removal this week. Mainly because the only form of hazard removal I could see on his team was Defog. So I figured I could just play off the fact that later on you'll see I have a Pokemon that has Stealth Rocks. And because he had Cypher, I knew he wouldn't want Rocks staying up, so I was playing off the fact that he's going to keep on defogging away his own hazards. So I didn't need to bring a Rapid Spin on Hitmonchan. Next up we have Chloe. We had a transfer, ladies and gentlemen. We dropped Miss Magius. I know, Susie is gone, but she wasn't doing much for the team. We only brought her to 1 match, and even then she felt a bit lackluster. So we swapped out Miss Magius and we brought in a Mawile. Mawile is pretty damn epic, and we named it after Chloe, my precious, my Mrs. Exile. She is physically defensive with Intimidate, because Mrs. Exile is very intimidating, and is rocking the Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Pain Split, and Super... Do you have something to say about that?
No, I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Never.
She's just behind me cleaning stuff. We have Mawile with Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Pain Split, and Super Fang. Super Fang, because he has fat mons like Milotic. Shaymin can be pretty fat. Goodra's fat. Mandibuzz is fat. Donphan's fat. Stealth Rocks again for the Cypher, just to make him defog away stuff. Knockoff, good for switch-ins. Cypher done no damage. Even Choice Band, Cypher done no damage to Mawile. And Bishop could only really touch us with a Iron Head. But Bishop does have Defiant, so we had to be careful with our Intimidate plays. Pain Split just for recovery, because that's the only form of recovery that Mawile gets. But Mawile was a good bring here, I feel like. Plus the Steel Fairy type is just so nice. And Steel Fairy is such a nice coverage. And last on our team, we have Chill T-Shirt, the Mamoswine, with the Choice Scarf to outspeed Choice Scarf Cypher. And outspeed potential unchoice scarfed Shaymin. That was my fault with that process. With Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. Rock Slide to 1-hit KO Cypher, pretty much. Rock Slide was also brought for Rotom Heat. That wanted to switch in on potential Earthquakes or even Icicle Crashes. Icicle Crash, big damage on Mandibuzz because pretty thick, so Ice Shard wouldn't be enough to do decent amount to it. And Earthquake, always got to bring Earthquake on your Mamoswine. So that is the team. Oh, I think he's Jolly Natured. Jolly Natured as well. Attack, speed invested. So most sets are pretty much standard 252s as you would expect, apart from Vaporeon has enough speed. Oh, it's Modest Nature as well to do maximum damage, but it had enough speed to outspeed Goodra. I think Derek had some special EVs as well to take some Goodra hits as well and get some bulk ups off, and everyone else had pretty standard sets. Mega Venusaur also had 8 attacks, 8 EVs in... No, I think he had 12 EVs in Power Whip. So, that's the team. Let's jump straight over to the battle. Okay, so as we can see, this match is going to be post-commentated. I couldn't get live commentary done. Also, the post-commentated match got a lot more views and support than the live commentary, so let me know which one you prefer, but at the moment I'm thinking post-commentary because, like I said, it just got more support, so you guys seem to be enjoying that one a bit more. Plus it keeps the video length down. I appreciate not everyone can sit down for what's potentially an hour video every time. But as we can see, this week RTK, he brought the Bishop, the Gardevoir, Cypher, Mandibuzz, Milotic, and Rotom Heat. So I was very glad he didn't bring the Shaman, even though I prepared for it quite well. And the Goodra he didn't bring. So again, I'm very glad he didn't bring it, but I did prepare for it. What I didn't really prepare very much for was Cypher. Apart from Marbile walling it, I didn't prepare very well for it, pretty much. But let's get on with the match and see how it went. So, RTK decided to issue us a challenge. He starts off with Easy Bake, the Rotom Heat, which was fine for me because I started off with Vaporeon. Vaporeon had quite a good matchup against a lot of his Pokemon, so I was fairly confident with that. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp just to get some residual damage probably on my Vaporeon. He doesn't know I'm Choice Specs though, so I just fire off a big Scald which will do major damage to anyone on his team. And it takes him out in one. Turn 1, taken down with the first hit. Rotom Heat is nothing to worry about, which is great because that was a big problem for Mawile. So that's one issue out the way. In comes Gardevoir now. I know I've calced it. I could take any one hit from Gardevoir, I know. He goes for a Thunderbolt. That does a suspicious amount of damage because it was a crit! So he crit me, which is not ideal. I go for the Scald. Big damage on him. I got no burn also, but I do survive on 1 HP after the burn damage. I decide to preserve Vaporeon, thinking maybe I might be able to bring it in on the Scald switch in of a Milotic. And I also switched into Alakazam here, just to see if he was choiced into anything. Alakazam I knew could take any one hit because of the Focus Sash. I was okay with blowing the Focus Sash on Gardevoir to find out what set it was. So I realise it's choiced in some way. I go for a cover, just banking on the fact that I knew I was going to outspeed. Anyway, I switch out Alakazam on the Mandibuzz, because I don't really have much to hit it too well. I bring in my Mawile Chloe, because at this point I just wanted to start getting some rocks up. Because I can see that he was going to be playing very switch heavy. He goes for Tailwinds though, which I didn't expect. I did not expect the Tailwind to come out on the Mandibuzz, who he now switches out. Pebbles, I love that nickname as well. Pebbles the Mandibuzz. He brings in Vinastas. I'm probably butchering that name. I go for Super Fang though, just for some damage. I expected a switch because I didn't think Mandibuzz was going to want to do much to Mawile. And that was a good amount of damage to put on Mawile, because it put on Milotic, because that puts it within kill range of Venusaur's Power Whip, who I go into now, knowing Venusaur's going to take any one hit the Milotic wants to dish out, whether it be a Scald or Ice Beam or Hey You, whatever he wanted to go for. Scald done next to no damage, which tells me that this was a, well, at least it's not a offensive Milotic. It's either specially defensive or defensive, but we wasn't too sure yet. He switches out, expecting to go down to 1 Giga Drain, because RTK let me know after this match that he thought my Venusaur might be modest nature, but I brought the defensive one, but I think he calced it that a modest Giga Drain would have killed him there. I went for the Sludge Bomb though, predicting the switch into Mandibuzz, because he didn't want to take any extra damage on that Milotic for certain, and if I was modest I'd probably be running some speed, so I'd probably outspeed it as well. The Tailwind petered out though, so I didn't play too much of a role, which is okay. He pulls a nice little double here out into Bishop. I go for the Synthesis more as a scouting move to see what he wanted to go for, whether he wanted to go for another Tailwind or Brave Bird or whatever. He sets up Stealth Rocks with the Bishop, which again threw me through a loop, but I decided to stay in, went for the Sleep Powder, put that Bishop to sleep. Bishop was a massive threat in this game. It was probably the biggest threat on his team, by far. Switch out the Venusaur here, and here is the number one mistake. I bring in Hitmonchan, thinking now's a good time to get bulk ups and put massive damage on something, completely forgetting who he had on his team and not doing a calc, which I should have done looking back on it. I should have done a calc to see how much damage Cypher would have done to me, even at +1. So I set up the bulk up. Cat, shut up! Even at +1 defense, Aerial Ace would destroy Hitmonchan. So I have to switch out there. Wasted my bulk up after revealing it. But like I said, Mawile walls Cypher to no end. Cypher can do nothing to Mawile. Even if he had Brick Break, Mawile does nothing. He goes for the Aerial Ace though. Aerial Ace, like I said, was that about 20 damage? And then after life, life orb. After leftovers as well, Marwell's laughing. Marwell was laughing. So I'm pretty much certain he has to switch out now. Doesn't matter if he's banded, scarfed, whatever. He has to switch out there. So I'm pretty much set to set up 3 stealth rocks. 3 rocks! We love 3 rocks! So that's going to lower his Cypher U-turn-in and Mandibar switch-ins and all that jazz, and break any potential Bishop focus sash he might have had. Get some more leftovers on Marwell, that is fine by me. I really didn't want Marwell to take a Scald and get burned at all, because Marwell, like I said, was my check to Cypher. Pretty good check to a few of his Pokemon. He does reveal the recover on Milotic though, which makes my life a little bit difficult. If he did it, because I wanted to keep that Milotic low. He switches out here though, goes out into Pebbles, knowing Alakazam's not going to do much to it unless I was carrying like Shockwave. He takes quite a bit of Stealth Rock damage. I go for Energy Ball, predicting him to stay in with Milotic, maybe go for a recover to scout what I was going to do. Energy Ball does not do much at all, but now I know he at least has some special defense investments. I go for the Focus Blast, because if I could get 2 max rolls with Focus Blast, I would have KO'd this Mandibuzz. I knew he was going to go for Defog though, because he wanted to bring in Cypher without taking all that crazy damage. So 2 max rolls with Focus Blast would have killed. There's Rocks are gone from my side as well, which is great. Rocks always being gone from my side is fantastic. Go for another Focus Blast, crossing my fingers and my toes for the max roll, and we didn't get it. And he lands a Roost. And if we had Life Orb in this match, that would have been totally different, and Mandibuzz would have died there, like easily. But he gets the Roost off. He's back up to the health that he was before the rocks. I have to switch out here. I have no reason to stay in. I don't know what he's going to go for. Could go for knockoff, could go foul play. I had no idea. I just went into Chill Tisha, maybe expecting him to switch out. He just goes for Brave Bird though for damage, which was, in hindsight, not a good move now. I'm not sure why I went out into Mamoswine to take damage. I should have just gone out into potentially Marwile and just Super Fanged. But we got damage on our Mamoswine. I pull a nice little double here though, expecting him to predict me to go for the Icicle Crash. So I expected him to go out into Milotic to take that well. So I switch into the Mega Venusaur. As predicted, he takes out the Mandibuzz, goes out into Milotic, and this puts me in a nice position to fire off this Power Whip that we prepped for. He goes for a cover. My sassy nature played well there, as my minus speed let me to go second. Got huge damage off on Milotic, and even if he recovered, eventually I would start chunking him down. So Power Whip, the right move to bring there. He has to switch out. There's not much, unless he wants to let the Milotic go down eventually. He brings in Bishop. I go for another Power Whip because I expected him, even if he wanted to bring in Bishop, break the Sash. That's fine because I was really concerned that Focus Sash Bishop was going to be a thing. I take out Venusaur, crossing my fingers and my toes that he stayed asleep for another turn, and he woke up. 2 turns sleep. Really didn't help me there. So I take damage from the knockoff, not very much. I lose my Lumberry, which I didn't need in this match at all. I brought the Lumberry in case he wanted to fire off Scalds on Hitmonchan and burn me. He goes out into Gardevoir here, expecting me to go for another Bulk Up. I just go for Thunder Punch, expecting maybe the Cypher to come in. And Thunder Punch is enough to take down the Gardevoir. Massive threat to the team down again. Like I said, without Venusaur, Gardevoir could have run through the team, especially since that one was Choice Scarfed. So it could have done serious damage. Like I said though, I had no switch in for... I had no way Hitmonchan was going to take a Cypher hit, so I have to switch out into my dedicated wall, which was Marwile. He predicts that, however, and goes for a nice U-turn. I should have realised he was going to go for a U-turn. I could have stayed in and gone for a Bulk Up and done massive damage to anything else on his team. Yeah, I could have done massive... Actually, no. I wouldn't have done massive damage to anything else on his team, because he would have gone out into Mandibuzz, and later we find out that Mandibuzz was speed creeped enough to speed creep Hitmonchan. So I potentially would have lost Hitmonchan in that play anyway. So hindsight, I could have stayed in. Hindsight, it wouldn't have mattered. He pulls a double here though. Pulls out the double, goes back into Cypher, expecting me to go out into Venusaur. I didn't do that at all. I expected the double. Go for some free rocks again. Why not? And even without the Intimidate, Cypher can do nothing to Marwile. I'm just sitting here getting all my leftovers back up. Marwile putting the best work I could have hoped for. It was so... I was really unsure about picking Marwal in our team, and this match just decided that it made me a believer. It made me a believer. Because this Cypher, I think, was choice banded, and even if it wasn't, Cypher has like 115 base attack. And to take those hits well, Marwal's a god. Go for a knockoff on anything that wants to come in though. Knock off the leftovers on Milotic, which is fantastic. Get rid of that residual recovery, because Milotic's causing a bit of a problem on the team at the moment. So I want to just get it out of here. I just wanted to get it out of my life. Didn't want to deal with it no more. I bring in Alakazam. He's definitely going to go for the recover, because knockoff definitely would have killed. Wouldn't have killed. Which is a shame, because I was thinking of bringing Play Rough instead of Pain Split, and that definitely would have killed. I go for Energy Ball here, though. Again, if I was Life Orb, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have blown my sash on the Mirror Coat. If I was Life Orb, he would have just died. I so wish I brought Life Orb instead of Focus Sash. Also, that was a bit of a roll there. That was a bit of a roll. Plus, I didn't really have time to calc that. I had to calc it after. Focus Miss, by the way. That was the deciding... Ah, I'm so angry. Those two plays. Energy Ball on Milotic. I had outside stuff going on, so I didn't really have time to calc that move. So I couldn't check whether it killed or not. If it had killed, if there was a chance to kill, I probably would have gone for it anyway. So that's not too much of an issue. But that Focus Blast miss on Bishop crushed me. Like, mentally crushed me. Anyway, I went for the Sleep Powder onto Bishop. He played a nice prediction there. Going into the Overcoat Mandibuzz, which I knew was potentially going to happen, but I just couldn't resist going for it. He goes for the Defog though, really concerned about the rocks being up for that Cypher. He must, because Cypher did take out Venusaur, took out Hitmonchan, so it did do a fair bit of work to our team. I was praying for Poison there. If I got Poison, this Mandibuzz probably wouldn't have been as much of an issue. But he got some leftovers recovery. We switch out here because I'm fairly certain he was just going to go for a Roost. So I go into Mamoswine knowing the rocks have already gone. He does go for the Roost, and now he has to decide what he wants to come in and take a hit from the Choice Scarf Mamoswine. I had my gut feeling here to go for Earthquake, predicting him to go out into Bishop. I really had a gut feeling. I was like, near enough a coin flip to go for that. But he goes out into Milotic. I just go for Ice Crash. Missed. Didn't matter though. Hit it the second time. So not too much of an issue. It does pretty much, however, reveal that I'm Scarfed. Because I wouldn't have gone for Ice Crash there in case he could have survived. So that pretty much confirmed I was Scarfed or choiced in some way to him. He goes out into Bishop now. Fairly certain I couldn't take a Sucker Punch from that range. And I didn't want to risk it. And I was Scarfed into Icicle Crash. So I just go out into Marwal here. And that was another move that I played really quickly. Because stuff was just going on around me at the time. Just like the cats were going a bit crazy. So I had to go deal with them. And I gave him the Defiant boost as he goes for Iron Head. And now my dedicated physical wall was on the tiniest amount of HP. Really needed this Marwal to stay high health. So now we have a +1 Bishop that we have to deal with. I bring in the Vaporeon, knowing there's no way this Vaporeon's going to survive anymore, just to sack it off. I didn't really get the chance to bring in any Scalds, like any certain 100% Scalds like I wanted. So I didn't have any problem sacking it off there. I bring in Randy here. Fairly certain I could take any one hit and just going for the Sleep Powder again. He does predict this, however, and goes back out into his Mandibuzz. Played that very well. RTK done very well with that play. There wasn't much I could do in response to that. I could have possibly pulled a double into Mamoswine, but I didn't want to really risk Mamoswine going down. He sets up another Tailwind though. He does set this the second Tailwind, and I'm pretty sure, watching this battle back, not like the Tailwinds didn't really play much part in this match. I'm not 100% certain. I need to watch it back now. I'm not too certain how many turns the Tailwind lasted. But I go for a Sludge Bomb there. Again, going for Poison. Didn't get it. Really looking for a Sludge Bomb Poison on this Mandibuzz. Brave Bird does a nice amount of damage to Randy though, which I did not like. But it does less than half, so I know I can take 2 unless it comes down to rolls. and I've already missed Focus Blast, and I got critted on the Thunderbolt, and I got a low roll on the Energy Ball, so I was fairly certain, unless Lady Luck wanted to kick me in the balls anymore, he was not getting a high roll. So we just decided to stall each other out here. He goes for Roost, I go for Synthesis. I'm just burning turns of Tailwind at this point. I'm just burning the turns of the Tailwind to get that out of here. He gets Leftovers back up, I'm at full, he's nearly at full. And we just go through the same song and dance again. Of he goes for Brave Bird and I go for Sludge Bomb. So I think Tailwind's been up for 3 turns this turn. Because he went for Tailwind the first turn, I don't know if that counts. Then he went for Brave Bird, then Roost, now another Brave Bird. So that's 3. I go for Sludge Bomb though. Still doesn't do half. Brave Bird still didn't do half. Leftovers back up. That's fine by me. Fairly certain I could take another one, like I said. Tailwind petered out. He outspeeds me because of my sassy nature. Goes for another Brave Bird. Didn't do half either time. This time it kills me. High rolls. High rolls, low rolls. Killed my Venusaur. Lady Luck was just not with us on this battle. Lady Luck and my cats decided to team up against me in this battle. Very much so. So Mega Venusaur's down now. Not great. Not great. I really wanted to keep Mega Venusaur to put Bisharp to sleep at some point, because Bisharp just does so much. That was the turn where I was going to go for Earthquake, predicting the Bisharp switch. That was the one. It really came down to a gut feeling of, is he going to switch here? He's going to switch here. I really wish I'd gone for Earthquake. But if I landed Focus Blast like 10 frickin' turns ago, we wouldn't even be in this issue. So he goes for Sucker Punch. Fine by me. Goes for Sucker Punch again. Fine by me. This is why I brought Recover on Alakazam for mind games, which is fine. Fine by me. No problem at all. Up to half health. He goes for Sucker Punch again. I went for Recover again. The mind games continue. This is where I was a bit dumb. I thought Focus Sash reset once he was back at full health like Sturdy. Apparently it doesn't. I went for Focus Blast this turn. He went for Sucker Punch. Killed me. I was really certain that Focus Sash worked the same way as Sturdy, but apparently not. So, oh well. I made a dumb mistake there. That was my dumb move. Anyway, switches out here. Brings in the Pebbles, the Mandibuzz. I go for a Thunder Punch. I'm not sure if this was a roll. I didn't calc it. Someone can calc it for me if they want. I doubt it was though. This Mandibuzz is pretty thick, and that was Iron Fist 252 Adamant Hitmonchan for anyone who wants to calc that. And like I said, he speed creeped my Hitmonchan down to take it out of a Brave Bird. So a few bad turns, a few Lady Luck moments. Pretty much was the undoing of this match. So yeah, from this point we pretty much lose, because there's not much I can do to with a Choice Scarf Mamoswine. All he has to do is play his switch-ins properly, because if I go for Ice Crash here, he just brings in Bisharp, and then I can't go for Ice Crash again because Bisharp will just kill Mamoswine. If I switch into Marwile, he gets the Defiant boost and kills me with Focus Sucker Punch next turn. So pretty much, like I said, a few bad turns. If we landed that Focus Blast, I'm pretty certain we could have won that match. If I, shoulda, woulda, couldas all round this match. If I brought Life Orb, could have won this match. If I landed the Focus Blast, could have won this match. Just silly little things like that. But it was a great match. This has actually been my favourite match of the PPL so far. I feel like I played it very well. Doing a lot of predictions well. Some double switches. Brought good mons to counter his mons. Like I said, just a few bad turns of me not giving it my 100% concentration. And a few low rolls and misses just didn't help along the way. But hey, good match to RTK. I had a good, fun time with this one, despite how angry I was afterwards. But I had a good time with it. Congrats to RTK. Next week, though, we will come back and we will get the win. So if you enjoyed this match, my band of outlaws, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, though, feel free to leave a thumbs down. Always leave a comment, though. I love reading them. And I will see you all next Saturday for the next battle of the Pokemon Premier League. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.